effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Tuesday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the 10th of August, 2024. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our technical operator, Jaquan. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far, that whatever you set out to accomplish, that it's going good. I would have had a better morning if only, the roads and in Castries and the immediate environs, things were flowing a lot more smoothly. I understand, like I said, school has reopened. It's a lot of business to be done by people and so on. I understand that. But to me, I find for where we're supposed to be on the slide rule, on the graph of modernity, I just wish our traffic were flowing more freely. Apart from the fact of what people do when the traffic, the roads and so on is so imperfect, they have so many impediments and so many slowdowns and whatever we may choose to cause them, that people want to drive as if it's a racetrack and so on. I just wish that our roads were moving a lot more smoothly. And that is why the last person that I was listening to before I had to make my way to the studio, was the senior minister who has responsibility for infrastructure, former Prime Minister Stephenson King. He was the one speaking, and he's the one who's responsible for our roads. Now, not because he's responsible that I'm going to say responsible means he's to blame for everything, but at the end of the day, it falls at his feet. He's the one who has to give account for what's happening with our roads. And I think the time is long past for the senior minister responsible for infrastructure, or even the Prime Minister, to come and to make a definitive, comprehensive statement to the nation about some of our major roads, especially the Millennium Highway at this time. Now, I remember Honorable Stephenson King has spoken about it. He has said that road is a cause of frustration for him. I mean, it seems to be like, have you all been following the scientific news where they say there's some chemicals, pollutants and so on, when they get discharged into the environment, into our soils, into our water, they call them forever chemicals because they never degrade, it seems. They never break down, or they take such a long time that it's like, they never get themselves as nature does, breaks them down, recycles, decomposes them and so on. The Millennium Highway seems to be the forever road. And not forever in the sense of its durability, but in terms of this repair and this upgrade and the redevelopment of the Millennium Highway. I mean, it looks like it's going on forever. Even though you see some instances where there is progress, where you see, okay, they've moved, it's like some areas remain stuck. They never seem to finish with it. It seems to be there. And, there's a part. Let us say that part where you come from, the top that is directly below Cicero. I'm not talking about the one that is close to the gas station. I'm talking about the one that when you come through Cicero and you make that you don't go towards Monkey Town or anything. You go down. I think you know what I'm talking about. Towards the first tunnel, the northern tunnel, the first tunnel when you're coming from town. From that junction where you can climb up to go into Cicero, I think there are three, entrances along the Millennium Highway that you can go. There's the one that's close to the gas station. There's the other one that's below Monkey Town, and the third one I don't really know. It's how do you describe that one? This one is the one that's below Kubari or somewhere there. I don't even know how to say it, but I think you get the idea. They haven't touched that portion of road at all. They just haven't touched it. The one that moves from that area to go down to the Bannan roundabout, that section has not been touched at all if it's part of the project. And it is getting worse. It's getting worse now, so that people, when they are driving, especially when they're driving down towards the roundabout, it also affects those who come in up from the roundabout. There are just so many potholes and so many bad patches of the road that people are now swerving, and sometimes they're swerving and they're coming in the path of vehicles that are coming up. And it's only a matter of time before a very bad, very nasty accident takes place, because a lot of the people who own or operate those trailers, those trailers, container trailers and so on, they park them on the side of the road. So if there was a chance of you slipping off, the road edge and so on to avoid something, there are endless trailers there. And I mean, you don't want to go and slam into a trailer. You don't want to have some collision with them. But they haven't touched that part of the road at all. And even the areas that they're working on, there just seem to be some areas that are just lingering forever and not getting completed. What is going on with that Millennium Highway? We in September already. Today is the 10th of September. Before we blink our eye, end of September will have arrived. October would have come. Juné Koyol month and all the things and La Marguerite month and whatever else it comes with. What is going on with that road? Somebody needs to come and address us. It has gone on too long. The forever road. Somebody needs to talk about it and level with the people because I find the contractor, C.O. Williams, they're not coming out with a communication that demonstrates regard and respect for the people, so that you let us know, okay, there's been a hold up because of this, that. It's like, whatever happened, you just take it, you just have to wait. There is a cockiness, there's an arrogance, or whether it is the consultant, FDL Consult or whatever. I don't know where the lines of responsibility are with that road. Apparently it is something, it would seem, that the Ministry of Infrastructure has maybe washed its hands off. Compatible with what the senior minister said, that that road has been a source of frustration for him. What is being done about it? Are any communications being directed? Because whether or not it is the British government that is funding it, it still belongs to us. It's still our baby. It still concerns us. It's still our public, our motorists who are being frustrated. And when you have a main artery of road that is below capacity, way below capacity, in terms of traffic that it can accommodate because of ongoing repairs, people decide it's better for them to take the Latok Road, it's better to take the old, Mon Road or whatever, Bwakache and all of that, instead of going on that road and so on, which dirties your vehicle, which there's loose gravel and stones on it that can throw you off. You never know where, Jumale, Panipengad kind of thing. This thing is a sort, and you know who's going to feel the frustration? It is not Caribbean Development Bank. It's not C.O. Williams. It's not FDL Consult. It's Philip J. Pierre and Stevenson King and the government and Labour that people going to be in their skin, who have not taken the bull by the horns and taken this thing and done something about it. Who has not read the Riot Act and shake. It's not because it's British grant money that's doing it. That means people must do whatever they want with it, that they can drag and stretch it out for as long as they want. We need to look into this thing. Letters need to be written. Talks need to be had. Whether with British High Commissioner, whether with Department of Foreign and International Development, whatever, in the British government. Some conversations need to be had. The whole administration, the whole management, the whole execution of that Millennium Highway has left a lot to be desired. And we have to deal with that foolishness when we've already had to endure the effects of that northern, road, the Sir Julian Hunt Highway, the whatever road that was supposed to be from Badowanj to whatever and so on, the Rodney Bay fiasco and so on. You already have to deal with all those things. Why is Millennium Highway taking so long to be comprehensively and decisively finished so we can have a freer flowing of traffic on it? Is there some game that is being played there that maybe we are burying our heads in the sand? We are ignoring. There has to be a game being played. This is not a new road in the sense where you had to go and build it from foundation and build it from bottom and build it from sub-base and so on. That's not true. It already had its foundation and its bottom. Yes, you may have had to do a lot of remedial works. But how many years this thing has been going on, this road? Somebody needs to be held by the scruff of the neck and given a good shake. Maybe some people, their strength in engineering is in other areas. Like the Prime Minister reminds us when he talks of infrastructure, infrastructure is not only about roads. Maybe they have greater strength in other forms of, maybe they're good at building bridges. Millennium Highway has no bridge, does it? I don't think so. Maybe that's the problem. Some people are strong at building bridges, but they're not strong at building bridgeless roads. Maybe that's the problem. It's a bridgeless road, so they don't know how to deal with it. I don't know. Because two of the areas that seem not to be finishing are two areas where I see you have to figure how to get the water to flow off the road. And maybe that's just not the strength of whoever it is that's involved. This forever road, something needs to be done about it. And I happen to know something about at least one of the characters who is involved in that road project. That individual I know, and I'm not talking just from my mouth or from my head. I am talking from my gut, from my whatever you call it. That individual hates the Labour Party. I know what I'm talking about. Don't worry, even if he playing a convenient game of kiss up and I'm with you, I'm your friend, I'm on your side, I'm there for you and so on. Do not believe it. That individual I know is an evil person, and that individual hates the St. Lucia Labour Party with a vengeance. And you never know if that person is not playing a game. When I see the rains every time, I wonder if that is not the game. Stretch it out. Some big tropical storm, some big kind of Christmas Eve trough rain event might come. and you leave certain points of vulnerability, choke points, hinge points, where you know if the rain mess it up, effectively it has messed up the whole project. And if you can get things to go into a quagmire situation, nobody will blame this person, that person, project, whatever, contractor. They're not going to blame them. You're going to hear the chorus of at Stevenson King. Lazy King, lazy roller, dead weight, Philip J. Pierre, incompetent, stutterer, this and that. These are the things you're going to be hearing. You want to hear them going after C.O. Williams or consultant or whatever. They're going to go after the government. We are past 3 years already. If you allow a quagmire situation to develop, to erupt with that road, the kind of pressure you're going to face as a result of public frustration. If you even have to temporarily close that road and go back to the days when we had to use in the majority the old Mon Road coming down Goodlands, that road cannot take the capacity. We have seen it. The traffic coming down there, I stopped by a certain place one time where I have a friend to have a little snack and so on. And just to get out of the side of the road was impossible because of the volume of traffic that was coming down there. It was just so much people coming on there, minibuses, everything. It was overloading the road. We don't want to go back to there again. It is going to cause some kind of fatality because that amount of volume, intensity, of traffic there, the density is just too much. That Millennium Highway has been, yes, it's not closed, I know. But just drive on the Millennium Highway at any time and you will see the volume of traffic on it can only mean people are avoiding it. They're not going on it. It's too much stress, it's too much danger, it's too much always. You're driving past the gas station, going towards town, and then all of a sudden, bluguduk, you're in a rough patch with a kind of potholes, with a kind of loose stones, and all these kind of things. The suddenness and the unexpectedness of this thing is causing people to be in even greater peril than if they're on a road that they know is bad. We have to make some kind of statement, say something, and I will repeat, who vex can be vexed. One of the people, key people associated with that Millennium Highway is, I from personal knowledge know, is a very evil person. And is also a person who hates the Labour Party with a passion and with a vengeance. And even while playing a hypocritical game of kiss, 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 don't worry, I'm supporting you and so, that individual will be deviously working to see how he can undermine and subvert this government that is there. About. So you all have to come and take charge of this thing. You have to go and hold some people and shake them by the scruff of the neck. You have to tell some choice words to some people. Let them write to Caribbean Development Bank, where one of our own was unceremoniously chased and booted out of the CDB despite being at the very pinnacle, at the very summit, at the very apex of the CDB. If they could have done that to Dr. Hyginus Jean Leon, you don't know what machinations are there in the background to mess up St. Lucia. People, we cannot take anything for granted. We can't leave anything to chance. No matter even if a man come in and he kiss and tell you everything, what is his performance? What is he doing in the thing that can open you up to become the object, to become the target of public rage and animosity and frustration, and public ire? Les moun vin enragé contre ou yo ka vin enragé. Pa prend pièce chance puis pièce moun. Pièce qualité Jean hypocrite. I don't talk with that kind of passion generally, although I'm a passionate person, but I know what I'm talking about in this instance. Something ain't right with that Millennium Highway. And you can't leave it so when you have other areas where you know it was the incompetence and the bungling and the corruption of people who want to do over everything, every contract, every consultancy, so they can give it to their friends, to their family, to foreigners, messing up things that was already approved by the Kuwaiti fund and so on, because they want to redo it in their image and likeness so that money, they can slide it in a direction where later on, through kickbacks under the table, they can get it. Why do you think they're getting the money to fund the Martinez? Why do you think they're getting the money to pay Rejoc? to criminals, jailbirds, people who take jail for fraud, for money laundering, for those kind of things. Those fellas want to come now and to come and basically talk down to you. Who you think greasing their hands for them to do that? You know, another set of them who tried to mess up Roosevelt's carrot in Dominica. It didn't work. I see now they're showing up on the same radars as Martinez and Ridjock and so on. And they're going to be more, you know. They're going to be bringing more, don't you worry. It's a whole army of discredited people that they're going to be flashing in your face all the time. Take control of what is in your own gates. Britain does not expect you to take any crap simply because it's grant money. In any case, there has been a change of government in the UK. Time to engage whichever minister is responsible for those grants and to have a conversation with them. Time to talk. It's your business. It may not be your money, but it's your road. Time is money. The public inconvenience that is costly. Transportation economics tells you that you will suffer a lot of intangible losses that maybe you cannot quantify on a balance sheet, but the delays and the inconvenience, the effect it's having on your business, on schools, on education, on a whole lot of other things is messing you up. Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, Honorable Stevenson King, other honorables, pick this thing up and do something. Get in touch with Keir Starmer and whichever of his cabinet to let them know what is happening there. Maybe now we have lost the battle at the level of CDB and lower. Maybe now they feel somebody or some people feel they have us where they want us by the balls. Take it higher. Escalate it. And let the people know that what's going there is something that you are concerned about and you are doing something about. Escalate this thing. This forever road, it gone on for long enough, me say. Majisa Kikalila. Anyway. Amazing, you know, I talk there and I don't feel like drinking water yet. I reach for my little steel flask yet, Jacon. You know, folks, this week there's been a lot of talk about St. Jude, and it's understandable. This month, this week, I think Sunday it was, marked the 15th anniversary of the fire that destroyed St. Jude Hospital. And over the years, you get the impression that some people were and still are more interested in pointing fingers. You know, in this back and forth recriminations. Is you all who did this? Is you all who did that? Is you all this? If I were to go that way, you know where my natural sympathies will be. But there's been that kind of just like with Julian Alfred. People want to say, we did more for Julian Alfred than you. No, we gave her 150 a month. No, we gave her 1,000 a month. No, you know. And I kind of wonder if any of them ever wonder about Julian Alfred, if she's listening to all of this, how it feels. You know, a bickering. Some people speak for, well, that's a big thing now. People speaking for other people. So people know that Twatine was badly treated and Twatine should have been up there. You know, you don't hear Twatine or Julian complaining about that. But, it's you know, Julian, when she went up to an Olympics without Twatine, that's when she had what Winston Churchill said, her finest hour, you know. But that's when, you know, there are people who always like to put a stick in the latrine and stir, you know, to try to make the smell of the poop rise up. I'm sorry about that, you know, about lunchtime and so on, to be talking like that. You know, there's something there, S disturbers, you know, that's what they specialize in. They don't care about the smell they themselves have to inhale and the flies and maggots, whatever, you know, that has to gross them out, if they can be grossed out. And so we've had all those years about blaming this. And I understand the people who say, you wonder why now some people are coming out with certain communications like they want to, you know, castigate about who did this and who did that for St. Jude's. We know the history. It's all known. Who came and commissioned a forensic audit, you know, of St. Jude's and so on, a technical audit, and what the audit told them, that the thing is, it has certain little areas that can be improved, but it is a project that can go ahead. But no, they had their own plan. So you mash up buildings that were already built. That comes with a cost. You come and you put in a building that was nowhere in the plans, in the reckoning. Nobody knows where that thing came from, where the consultancy and the decision to build it, like a bolt out of the blue, a huge building that is mostly external cladding and so on, and there seems to be no plan for its layout and everything. You do all these kind of things with it. But I'm saying right now, we have seen something, perhaps the most concrete step taken to finish St. Jude since this whole 15-year saga has been ongoing. Funding has been identified, not just to complete St. Jude and to commission it and to relocate the patients from the National Stadium, down in Vieux-Fort, but also to give attention to the National Stadium that you could not give while it was doubling at a hospital. The stadium is right there. It stands on the rim, on the edge, on the cusp of the coast where all the wind and the sea blast and the salinity and everything is coming there, and it's on a flat area, flat plain where there is no mountain or hill or elevation to shield it. The wind is going to bear down on it directly and so on across there. You know the issues with it. So you have problems with rust, you have problems with corrosion, you have problems with steel breaking off and the dangers of it and all of that. But it's now, people want to come and to castigate this now that there is definitely a plan and the resources identified to move the hospital back to where it was, where it belongs, up in Auger, on a highway that was named and I think still is called the St. Jude Highway. To bring it back in that location where there is so much nostalgia, there is so much sentiment, there is so much, modeling, recollections and memories about good old St. Jude and so on, and to fix the stadium. To bring the stadium back to a country worthy of Laverne Spencer and now Julian Alfred and all the other people who have given for sports in St. Lucia when there was no recognition, fame or reward and so on, but who kept on, the faithful coaches and the people who was to put it back in shape. Now that we have that is when you're hearing some people, they want to make noise, they want to talk about, the shame and the, my goodness, that's your honte for St. Jude. Well, Philip J.P. has taken steps to remove the honte, to wipe the honte from our eyes, both in respect of St. Jude and in respect of the National Stadium. That we can have the kind of, dignity that befits a nation that claims Julian Alfred as her own. It took years ago. We never did get to the point of having a proper national theater and so on that Derek Walcott was calling for, to have some facility, something that befits being the country that claimed such a great literary genius and giant as our own Nobel Prize winner and all of that. We haven't gotten to that point yet. What a Labour government, by the way, a Labour government sought to do was to restore his childhood home into a place that didn't just resemble where he grew up, but it would also serve as a kind of an attraction point for artists and writers and theater people and so on, and a tourist attraction, and to do it in a part of town that most of us, many of us considered too seedy, too low class, associated with crime and Vieneg and vagabond and ghetto and this kind of thing. They were not afraid. The Grass Street, the Grass Street project and so on. A lot of us, we look down on it and we know who stopped it. Despite the fact that it was being funded by the Taiwanese and so on, we know who pulled the choke on it. We know who has no appreciation for arts, which is the party whose one of its senior people referred to Derek Walcott and Llewellyn Xavier and I think Dr. Len Ishmael was part of those who protested certain things that were going to be done in the area of the pitons and so on and developments and all of that, to call them armchair politicians and Johnny's come lately. These are the kind of things, we've had in this country. But coming back to the point, just when the Prime Minister has identified a clear path forward that is funded, that is planned, that is receiving, the resources and so on to it, is when you have all I want to tell you people. I'm going to play clips of the Prime Minister, after the commercial break. All I want to tell you, people who support Philip J.P., people who support the government, people who support St. Lucia, people who support St. Jude, its restoration, the restoration of the National Stadium, hold your horses. Don't believe at everything you have to bare your fangs and extend your claws and launch attack and so on. Hold your horses. As someone observed in a chat group that I am on, they said, look, when Friday will come around and the signing of the contracts for the moving forward to the completion of St. Jude and so on, I'm not saying it correctly, comes around, nobody will remember all this side sniping and so on to take away from the forward focus. Let me tell you something, people. We recently had an event that was called Walk of Progress. Anytime you feel like going to war because you believe people are unjustly attacking your prime minister and the government and the wonderful things that they have accomplished, the discernible, concrete things that they have done that nobody can dispute. Anytime you think from going to war, just tell yourself, just like you had the Walk of Progress, the best war you can fight and win is the War of Progress. And like my friend on that chat group said, by the time Friday comes around, nobody will remember certain statements and press releases and so on. What they will remember and they will know is those giant leaps forward that have been taken to complete St. Jude and to restore the National Stadium. Nobody will remember. And so the Walk of Progress was not just the event that was held on Sunday the 25th of August, you know. It is the continuation of accomplishments and so on. And so you want to ever go to war? Hold your horses. The best war is the War of Progress. And this was all what the Walk of Progress was meant to initiate, to ignite, and to herald. Continue walking that walk and continue fighting that war by holding up the chart of progress, of promises made and promises kept. Continue doing that. I will tell you again. If ever you see something that kika picho, paka taxa ka sorti, sound ka bouille and so on, just look at your leader and tell yourself you are well led in this country, both at the state/governmental level and if you are a political person at the party level. If you see Philip J. Pierre and making a big deal and ain't exciting himself about something and so on, just follow that leader. Hold your horses and cool out yourself. He knows why he ain't exciting himself. Don't want to go and tear into people, whether it be commissioner of police that you think betraying, whether you think it is this person, you know, you want to go, or this doctor, whatever. Don't do it. Your leader, your prime minister, Philip Joseph Pierre, not doing it. There's a good reason why he's not doing it. There's a good reason why he's keeping himself, you know, equanimity, calm, etc. Follow that lead. If ever there is a time where the general feels that we have to go to war, he will communicate it. You will know it. And he will give you precise instructions, directions as to how you should fight that war. But for now, continue to fight the war on the basis of progress. Promises made, promises kept. The Real Issues continues after this commercial break. Don't go away.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's ginger turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
24 and September 13th is Friday coming. You know, we often talk about Friday the 13th and so on being bad luck. Well, this one going to be a good news day. On September 13th, 2024, the government of St. Lucia will sign 2 new contracts with the Saudi Fund for Development, SFD, to advance the construction works and rehabilitation of the St. Jude Hospital. Following a competitive bidding process, 2 locally based firms were selected to undertake the final construction phase of the St. Jude Hospital Reconstruction Project, SJHRP. Construction Industrial Equipment at CIE Limited won the bid for the civil works, and Caribbean Consulting Engineers CCE Limited was awarded the contract for design supervision of the SJHRP. As stipulated in the agreement between the government of St. Lucia and the Saudi Fund for Development, both contracts form part of a joint venture with counterpart firms, out of Saudi Arabia. Transferring patients and hospital operations from the George Odlum Stadium to the new St. Jude Hospital remains a priority for the government. Within 24 months of assuming office in 2021, the Prime Minister secured $201 million in loan financing from the Saudi Fund for Development for the SJHRP. With the financing in place, finishing the SJHRP is imminent, and the long-awaited relocation of the St. Jude Hospital to its original home will finally begin. Right? And this is on a Facebook page there, and one person who posted is John Robert Lee, who says, "We will need a 24-hour round-the-clock work on St. Jude's to complete it as soon as possible. And then the stadium, no dragging, we coming." Claudius McCombie writes, "All of we coming." And Sunshine Slacks, someone by that name, says to John Robert Lee, "Me too." Lucian Survivor says, "We coming." Felix Joseph says, "We coming." And, so it is the enthusiasm that people feel about this. And someone called Akram Majid says, well, something in Arabic which I can't really read. "Allahu Akbar, God is most great. Alhamdulillah, thanks is due to God. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, the beneficent, the merciful. I am so grateful to Allah for sending us such help in our times of need. Honorable Philip J. Pierre." All right, and you can see the enthusiasm. Lucian Trini says, "Me a million times over, and we coming." Baba Ranks, Focus Ranks, after St. Jude is completed, we need the stadium to be completed also and named after Julian Alfred, a.k.a. Juju. So, lots of thoughts. And, of course, we know Julian Alfred due to come to St. Lucia later this month. And the 27th of this month has already been named the National Public Holiday. And it will be called Julian Alfred Day or Juju Day, as many of us prefer to say. So, there is now a definite... And we saw a video some time ago showing a lot of work has been done on St. Jude, showing the progress of works and so on. So it's like work has never stopped since this government. But don't be surprised, that now that we see a clear path towards the completion of St. Jude and the restoration of the stadium, that's when you begin to see demonstration and march and walk and this and that and all the other and so on, by people who simply cannot stand, They cannot stand seeing any kind of wind, under the tail or the sail of St. Lucian's and so on. They have to buzz their bubble. They have to do all kinds of things that they, because it's going too good. The feel good of St. Lucian's, they have to try to this jazz, to this carnival, to this CIP. And you can be sure they will do everything to try to this, the completion of St. Jude Hospital. They might even try actual sabotage, which is why I think you heard me a long time ago saying to the government, make sure you have good security and surveillance down at St. Jude. Don't be surprised, Some people, they just don't want you to be the one to have the feather in the cap. And if they see you're going to get a feather in the cap, it's amazing the kind of things of desperation that they will do. Veye se munsa. Watch those people. Don't take your eyes off them. Don't ever take for granted. Don't ever tell yourself, oh, they wouldn't dare do that. Never say that. You see, when people are desperate, you see when people are just vehicality, there is nothing that is out of their mind that they will not try to do. Watch them, keep them well monitored all the time. Now, let me see Miguel Favre. What are you saying there? He said if the Prime Minister of the time was a stranger to reading and literacy, you should expect him to pull the plug on Walcott House. Of course, yes. And we all saw it. We all saw it. Everything is about trying to show Kenny Anthony didn't do this well, I can do it better, even if you end up doing nothing. You're mashing up bridge, you're mashing up everything just for you to show you can do it better. And in the end, you end up doing nothing. Because these things, they take resources. You came promising to reduce and eliminate VAT, and then you realize you don't have the money to do it. You think you're going to put your hand in your own pocket? What does Miguel say? Now it's Julian they're trying to suggesting she doesn't deserve a national holiday. They don't know where they are. They're like headless chickens. They see you going north. They criticize, oh, why are we going north? We should not be going north. No. Just turn around immediately and turn south. Why are we going south? These people don't know. Like I said, one of them was trying to diss Richard Frederick about the tents, the vendors, how this place is a ghetto place and, all this dilapidated tent structure. Richard moved to do something about it, to remove the tents in the very area that they figure out, around the printry and so on, to remove the vendors there, to relocate them, to put them in better built and so on, facilities and well painted. And 5 there, victimizing the vendors, treating the people badly, running behind the people, taking away the people's daily bread. You go, let me tell you, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, for them. Are you there? I'll say there or you. You just have to have your mind clear. And above all, to know that you have the support of the people. The people are behind you because the people have seen your performance. You've given a good account of yourself. You have credibility. You have reputation. You have a good name with the people. Do what you have to do. And I'm not going to say like them about letting the dogs bark and letting the jackasses bray. I'll never say that. People see things differently. You can never be so good that you don't have people who are against you. And you can never be so bad that you don't have people who are for you. So, this is the way it is. Good afternoon to someone called Cheryl who said, her whole self good. And I think, Cheryl, those sentiments are those of many other people. Now, I understand with the Parliament meeting today that a lot of you will be following, the Parliament and so on. So I understand. But the lines are open anytime you want to call. Anytime you want to take, a little chance to come and share something with us, you're absolutely welcome to do so. The numbers, as you know, the WhatsApp line is 487-9849. That's 758-487-9849. And the direct line, the landline, is 4533-911. I believe we continue to have a problem with 91.3, Jaquan, our northern frequency. Real FM radio, you can get us on 91.3 if you're in the north and 91.5 in the south. 91.3 has been down for a few days. 91.5 is working. We are simulcasting on the TV, NBC television, and you can also join us on Facebook Live as well as streaming live on YouTube. We have our first call already. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well so far. I hope you're going to catch some cricket tonight.
Yes. Cricket. Of course. Why not?
Of course.
That's a good line,
Let's see if Kings can pleasantly surprise us.
All right. Just lend me your siren and so on so that I can blow my way. So I can blow my way through, and so on. And
Shelton, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, the discussion has constantly come up, particularly on your show. It has to do with the heavy equipment vehicle, the trucks.
Yes.
And they're carrying the material and everything, cement in particular, and the way they litter the roads.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, happened to get to the VG roundabout, and it is the approach to the roundabout coming from Leclerc,
mm-hmm.
the Leclerc side,
mm-hmm.
and there were bits of bricks and block just along the curb, actually just at the exit.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, I mean, I assume it may have come from a truck that may have hit the curb inadvertently and it fell there. And, no one saw it fit. I'm including that the driver of the truck and anybody would have passed there would have seen that fit to remove those things from there, posing a danger to motorists and pedestrians. Because what I could see happening is that it's actually on the left-hand lane of the exit. Exiting that area, there are 2 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going, and it's on the left-hand lane, so automatically the person there, especially if you don't see it, may end up swinging onto the right, and you could see the implications. You may cause an accident to anyone who's at the same simultaneously approaching the roundabout.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's removed as yet, but then again the call to go out to truck owners to be mindful of how they carry all the waste material. They need to cover it, do not overfill the trucks, and for God's sake, if you see it has fallen down, make an effort to pick it up. You're not the only driver on the road.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Sheldon, so that's just what I wanted to say.
Let me ask you something that has been troubling me for some time. Mm-hmm. When they were building the Bois d'Orange Bridge, they did that bypass at the back there, which I thought they would have demolished, but they left it, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's helpful when you have to have a little diversion when the Bois d'Orange flat gets too congested so you can go back through, Corinth and all of that. Mm-hmm. Somebody has parked a trailer, one of those container trailers somewhere there, but they have not parked it well enough with sufficient precision and finesse so that you have that end of the trailer jutting out. Now, those trailers, it's dangerous when you don't pack them well, that you have that end that connects to the truck itself jutting out. Because it's difficult to see it, you understand?
Yes.
It's in broad daylight you come and sometimes not difficult to see it, but to gauge exactly where it is in relation to your vehicle, how far it is, what is the angle of it, and you can run into it. And a few people have run into it. A couple have even died, you know. I mean, there was a guy, a St. Lucian Australian, you know, his mother from Dennery, his father an Australian, you know, who came. Ian Sullivan was the name. You know, a few years ago.
The bridge was being constructed.
And Sullivan ran into, I think, a trailer, you know, like that. Now, you don't really know the circumstances. I don't know if you know a man called Elliot Francis, you know. Elliot Francis was once the treasurer of the Labour Party. He was a retired pilot and all of that. Mary Francis's brother. And I think Elliot had an incident like that where he had a bad accident where he required, you know, extensive spinal surgery, which I think he ended up having in Cuba. But I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a situation where he ran into, you know, a trailer like that and in the night or whatever, not seeing the thing, difficult to gauge. I may be wrong on that, but I remember Elliot had some issue. But somebody has parked a trailer there, and it is not parked so well that it doesn't have the end jutting out. As someone who worked in Ministry of Infrastructure, what should I do if, for example, as a concern, is it the police I should call about it? Because
the police, ultimately that would be on the police, because obviously the traffic laws would indicate where you cannot park, and if you pose a danger to the road, I would expect that the police would be the ones to enforce it and find the owners and have them remove it.
Yes.
Where that is concerned, I think where infrastructure would really fall in, and maybe even physical planning, depending on if the person owns that property on the road or they're encroaching on, you know, onto the roadway. That's what I believe. And added to that, even forgetting the stationary trailers, the guys who drive the trailers on the road as well, they don't have any tail lights, so they're braking, and you cannot see which they're supposed to. Your lights are supposed to be connected to your trailer.
Exactly.
So when you're indicating left or right.
Exactly.
These guys drive that road, and you see there are no lights or the lights are not working.
And not only that, too, sometimes the speed they come with, they do not hold the lanes. They open lanes, you know, or cut corners. You know, sometimes it's not necessary. You know,
up to this morning, I was out with the driver, and we were on the dual carriageway, and one of the trucks, it did not have a trailer behind it, but it took up 2 lanes, and the guy was speeding behind us. You know what the driver did? He said, "You know what? I'm not comfortable." And we're not comfortable with this guy driving at such a speed behind us.
So he pulled over and let him pass.
We happened to give it more. We pulled into there and just drove through the parking lot, allowed him to go ahead.
Yeah.
So they could come out, because I don't understand these guys. Next to motorcyclists, these guys have the least regard for
yeah, good idea. Sometimes I see some of the people driving those big vehicles, whether it be those, those trailers and all of that, or whether it be those who are driving fuel trucks or water trucks, really big vehicles. Sometimes I wonder whether the owners of these vehicles or the companies and so on are trying to save money by maybe older and more responsible drivers who probably will need or ask to be paid more, that they get rid of them, retire them, whatever, and so on. And they take young fellas who probably just for the excitement will work for a lot less money, but they don't have that sense of responsibility. They don't have that sense of operating, because it takes some degree of experience and whatever to, apart from just wanting to just speed it, just the excitement of it. And I've had to ask myself, I see people driving on the road, Miguel, and some of the maneuvers of driving, the way they execute them, you have to ask how many of them are truly licensed. Because to me, if you go to driving school, these are things, basic things your driving instructor will drill into you. Whether they really went through a disciplined process of learning driving, they went to driving school and they had to take a test and all this kind of thing. Because some of the maneuvers are just so outrageous, and they ought to be basic knowledge.
Agreed.
Even as a new driver.
Agreed. Now, Sheldon, without having to hold up your line, and just leave you with one last thought as you made that point. Where we need to look at is whether the ministry's process of certifying those drivers is stringent enough, or is it just a matter of someone applies and whether they are examined, they go through the tests, whether they every aspect of their driving as it relates to whether driving a bus or trailers are adhered to, and whether they are actually matriculated on that basis, or whether people are actually just given a pass. And much in the same vein as I mentioned some months ago about the people who are over 70, 75 who do the check test, whether they actually go through a proper driving exam to determine whether they are roadworthy or not. Because someone can come with a medical certificate to say that their eyes and everything are in order, And what you find happens at the ministry is that they just make a quick round around the parking lot without having them drive in traffic to determine whether they are actually fit to be on the road.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the examination process needs to be re-examined and audited.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Shelton, good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
Thanks a lot. I have to say, while I cannot claim to see the face or the look of everybody, but to me, most of the horrendous, atrocious driving I see is not older people. It's young people, usually young males I see doing those things. And it's all part of the arrogance, of the cockiness, of belief that, I got this, I have this under control, and the show-off impulse. You want to show how slick you are. You want to show, how great a driver you are and how you can handle things, and you end up making things worse. I have to say that is young males. Anyway, we seem to have another call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Shelton,
Hey, what's up?
how close you are to the Prime Minister?
Let me answer you like the Prime Minister. That's not your business.
Because I following up with a question, Shelton. I wanted to ask you, do you have any idea of the Prime Minister being a good draft player?
If I know the Prime Minister business, I'm not telling you his business.
Shelton, I'm not strong in many indoor sports, but I have a liking for dominoes.
Okay.
But
You can match a few.
Yeah, I think I could hold my own. But the Prime Minister look as if he's a very good draft player.
Okay, maybe chess and all the board games, maybe he's strong on them.
Yes, because sometimes he may allow you to eat one or eat two pegs, but he know that the reason why he makes you eat two pegs, because he will come back and eat 5 or 6 of yours and go for a crown. The way he go abroad, all how I look at the Prime Minister, and when I see him, I will ask him that question. Is he a very good draft player? First, number one, Deputy Speaker. Do you remember when the news were announced that they're going to be a Deputy Speaker? How the flub was, man, in uproar, sir.
In fact, they had already gone for take out some kind of court thing or court injunction to show that having a deputy from outside the parliament would be unconstitutional, and they were gearing up for a fight, and then they just play a how you call that, a googly, a curve one on them there when Kenny and here.
A piece of draft.
Yeah.
Now it's only a draft player, because you see, you doesn't just, when you see you playing draft, Shelton, you doesn't just shift pegs just so you know.
Yeah.
You have to actually take your time and read the game and make sure you put the pegs in the right position, how to go on defense, when to go on offense. That all I see that move, that is a draft player. Now what about the recent one now with Mr. Vanguard? That is the next piece of drafts, you know.
Oh yes.
You see?
Because they were already gearing up for a fight over Ronald Phillip, you know. and it just never materialized, right?
That is a piece of drafts again. And the last piece of drafts, sir, is our girl Juju. You know, many people were still doubting as to whether or not they would have the national holiday. People write that off already. There were some people out telling me, guys, that could never happen.
Isn't that the same day that Allen has set his meeting for his whatever on the boulevard, whatever? What day is that? Isn't that the same day?
Hey. Is that you serious?
To me, he has organized some UWP event.
No shit, and that can be true. A day when we celebrating.
Well, to be fair, we had not yet announced the Julian Alfred Day. You understand?
Even if you announce it or not, Julian Alfred Day of celebration takes precedence over everything right now.
Well, not only that, let us see how he and his party, how nationalistic and patriotic they are. That if the Julian Alfred Day, which I may be wrong, if it clashes with their thing, whether they will have the patriotic spirit and decency, you understand, to reschedule their thing in order to join in this national observance and celebration of an unprecedented accomplishment.
So
you know?
feel juju like that, Shelton?
All that?
You feel juju like that?
No, but I'm not sure. I can say, and I'm speaking off the top of my head, but I know UWP has something planned, they say, towards the end of this month. Whether it's 27th, I could be wrong. Maybe it's 23rd, they said. I can't remember. But I'm saying, if in case it is, that it clashes with the Julian Alfred Day, do you understand?
Now the last piece, Shelton, as far as I know, as far as you know, the Darren Sammy Stadium is in good condition to have the concert for Jujua. So I only hope my friend go and move pictures and say we are ready for that. Huh?
He can't say that. How we can go? How we can go and say that when
Go
our
and move pictures and say we are ready to.
how we can do that when our ground has been declared as the best prepared for the recent international T20 tournament? You know, the T20 World Cup. How we can come and say that?
That's what the ICC say, but the truth is what you believe, Shelton.
Yeah, well, let him say. Let's see how many people. Not even 43% he get in this time. Maybe 3%. Maybe 3% will believe him and will follow him on that one. Not this time.
So I'm making this appeal for every St. Lucian, Shelton, to come out in large numbers and celebrate and support Juju. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, my friend. All right, Real Issues is on. We have another caller. Let's take that
Good
call.
afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Shelton.
Real Issues.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I was listening to Gaspar there.
Who's that there, Reverend?
Yes.
Oh man, Reverend Deacon Bernard Hills.
I'm using the car connection. That's why. So you probably heard me
Okay,
differently.
am you good enough?
But yeah, Shelton, let me tell you. I was listening to Gaspar there. Whether or not he had already planned the day or not. Who wants to go and match today and then tomorrow they have to go to Juju?
Yeah.
Who wants to go and match Juju today and then tomorrow they have to go to UWP meeting? Who wants to do that? So whether or not the Prime Minister, let me tell you something. Charles Lake can ride all bike he want. The Prime Minister just showing a little spoke, a little fork in the spoke. Bam, cycling down. That's it. That's it. You know, Gaspar said when he moved, the Prime Minister allowing you to eat one, and then he will take 5. Prime Minister has allowed him to eat any of his as we say it in battle. Pierre say pure Prime Minister. It was Hamay. I think more go consulting the former Prime Minister than anything else. So you realize not even see the Caribbean American Caribbean or Caribbean American News Network or media have had any show about any of the issues St. Lucia have lately.
Why is that?
Quiet.
Why is that?
I don't know. Shelton, the fellas were getting phone numbers of all kinds of criminals. Kinds of interview about CIP.
Yeah.
Shelton,
Maybe the pastor, who it seems has refocused his calling to attack the government and the support. Maybe they find out that the pastor doesn't have as much credibility as he made them believe.
Shelton, you know, it's 14 days and I ain't nothing about CIP again, you know, Shelton.
Okay. I told you CIP was running out of steam, of course. Didn't I tell you that?
Shelton, the fellas was finding all kinds of criminals to interview. I do not know where they getting their numbers from. You buy a number, number.
Yeah.
You buy a phone.
He passed
Or
him,
they
sir.
don't want to give you.
He passed him, sir.
Shelton,
The moment Martinez, through his lawyers, an email that some people believe shows, that's the evidence. An email, an email that is more implicating, that is more damning, that is more embarrassing and ridiculing. Well, a lawyer is saying to another one that our client don't really want money from St. Lucia government and the treasury, What we want is money that we suspect Ernest Hilaire and McLeod Emmanuel and who else they mention have gotten as corrupt kickbacks, from their dealings with Galaxy. In other words, we know that the money is corrupt. We know that the money is dirty. We know that the money is criminal. We're fighting a RICO lawsuit against this kind of racketeering and all of that. But you know what we want them? Give us a portion of the corrupt money and we'll be good, you know. The moment that came out and people saw it for what it was, immediately they got deflated and they don't have steam and they don't have legs and they don't have any spring in their step again, you know.
Because the man can't come back with no evidence. The man can't come back with nothing.
Which evidence? Chastner's simple papers in the parliament are too much for him to focus on. The guy cannot maintain concentration on anything for a long time. He's all over the place. You believe the kind of thing Martinez said he had rims? If he really had it, Chastner would be interested in it. Somebody would have to go through it for him, and it never existed. Martinez is an attempted extortionist who was trying to browbeat and blackmail the government of St. Lucia and others into paying him money that he knows is not due to him. He never lost it and so on. That RICO case, Martinez was just using that to bluff charge and to try to scare, you know, people with it. He knows it was never going to go anywhere. That RICO case ain't going anywhere, you know.
I tell you, I was speaking to a young UWP yesterday. We were having a very positive conversation about Ernest Hille. And let me tell you, the man told me he didn't know he don't know much about the CIT. He doesn't know much about CIT. So he wanted to find out about CIT. So I tried to explain to him as much as I knew. Because I myself can't fully explain everything about CIT. But I was telling him, you know, he wanted to know. So I was telling him. The man told me, let me tell you something. I personally, my vote cannot go to anybody else but Ernest Hille. Because imagine I am a young UWP, but where Ernest Hille has brought me, I have had interactions with Ernest Hille as a man who when he was working with Mario Michel in the Ministry of, I think, the Permanent Secretary, set me on a track. And what I've been hearing, I could tell you personally, even if I support the United Workers' Party, but personally I will tell you, any of these things I think they have tried on Ernest Hille, I don't think that is true. It's not possible because the man is telling me he have had personal interactions, and where Ernest Hille has molded them, you know, based on certain things Ernest Hille did for them as a young person. He has such a passion as a youth and sports person, not as guy would say a youth people, but a person who is really into youth and sport. You know, did for them. He been in sports. Shelton, he cannot see any of the things they're talking about. And I told him, I myself know Hille personally, and I will tell you, none of these stories, none of these issues, none of this mudslinging can be Ernest Hille. That is just a personal vendetta. And I was speaking to, and the gentleman tell me, if I jamais buy vote li, if I buy pièce lot mon vote li, en gros li, parce que Ernest Hille, you know. So, you know, I don't know. The UWP, the stories, the lies, you know, the drafts, c'est pure yoka chiffre, just not right. It's wrong all along the board. Like Philippe JP just fait ses books away. Problem you that the leader that they have. Mais mon côté is qui the leader là ça. Mon côté because let me tell you, further into damnation they will fall. Depuis me says the leader, further into damnation they will fall.
Yeah.
You know, but Shelton, it is what it is. Let's enjoy Juju when she comes home. Let us celebrate from a distance. Trust me, I'm going to celebrate. And I can't wait to meet my Prime Minister when he comes here at the end of the month. I can't wait, Shelton. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fly the flag of St. Lucia. And trust me, I'm ready to protect him too.
Yes. Thank you very much, Bernard. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. We overdue for a commercial break unless there is someone on the line at present. Let's go for the break. When we come calls, and I'll try to go through some messages.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to and staying with the Real Issues on this Tuesday. It is the 10th of September 2024. And I know that, like I said, the House of Assembly is meeting today, so there will be many of you who will be following. But thank you so very much for sharing the time of day with us here at Real FM Radio, MBC Television. We are also coming to you on Facebook Live and via YouTube live streaming. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, has announced that the annual report on St. Lucia's Citizenship by Investment Program, the CIP, for the period April 1st, 2022 to March 31st, 2023 has been completed. This report will be presented to the Cabinet and tabled in Parliament upon the return of Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the Minister with responsibility for the CIP program. You know, the opposition, Mr. Alan Chastney, has been making a lot about 2 years we haven't had. Well, he knows that there were reasons for that, and it's been completed at least for 2022-2023. And we'll hear about the next year that's still outstanding. But we have a call on the line. Hello.
Hello, good day, Shelton.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
Yes, I was juggling between the two, watching them in the house, and then I said, hey, Shelton is on, let me check on.
Certainly, I expect that.
You were just talking openly. What was I was not there for your preamble.
I don't know, I've spoken about many things, but it really is about what you want to speak about, what you consider to be...
but I just want to, I knew there was something in the bag. I want to compliment the Prime Minister, for giving Julian Alfred Day, well deserved. In spite of the distractors, whatever they're saying, we're not paying attention to that. Yeah. It's much deserved because people want to come and compare. That's what I don't like. Come say, oh, they did not do it for what's the Nobel laureate. They didn't do it for this. They didn't and how they want to give Julian Alfred a day. Solutions. That's so ridiculous. Somebody who has done that, great achievement for the country, and you all want to come and politicize that and do all these things. That's how low these people will go.
Yes.
Of course, she deserves it. She deserves the holiday. She deserves all what she gets.
Yes.
Made history for us, and we all should be proud of that. These folks are not damn proud Lucians, so they only see the color yellow or red. Yeah, and it's really sad, We have to put all our differences aside, Shelton, and welcome our spring queen home. I mean, many countries are envious right now. They wish that they had this person, representing St. Lucia and the representation flag. She's very proud to be Lucian because every time she speaks, you could hear it in every sentence she mentions St. Lucia. She cannot wait to get home. Yes. And I just admire for that her humility. In spite of she's been on the world stage, she doesn't forget where she comes from. And to me, that's a plus. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very
Shelton.
much. Thanks a
Have a good
lot.
one.
Okay, we continue taking
bye.
your calls. 487-9849. That's 758-487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that. Particularly good if you're overseas. Useful, as Bernard Haynes, I'm sure, used it. He'd been having problems with it for some time, but this time it looks like he got it without any trouble. So, we are taking your calls until 2 o'clock, not going a minute over time. And September 9th is a solemn reminder of the tragic loss. September 9th was, of course, yesterday, of the tragic loss of life during the St. Jude Hospital fire of 2009. The Prime Minister and the government unreservedly expressed their appreciation to the hospital staff, nurses and doctors who, for the past 15 years, continue to work under difficult conditions. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Hey, good afternoon, Shelton. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and you?
Yeah. We probably need some more activities when it comes to farming in the outskirts.
You probably need some more what?
Some more activities
Okay.
in the farming.
Okay. Do you believe reviving Le Paradis would be a benefit for the farmers? They would have a place where they can sell a lot of their produce?
Again, the parity is not the issue.
I know, but I'm saying if you had that attraction point and so on, do you believe if they were somehow be able to?
Because the operation I'm telling that we're missing here now would certainly have that in mind, because you need production, you need sustainability, and you need a market.
I'm asking you because I know apart from being a politician, you're also a man who's a landowner, you have assets and so on. Whether you can lead some kind of negotiations and do some searches to get some other investors together to take it on,
But my problem is you need to do it with the people.
Okay.
And that is why I tell you it's missing,
But you're also a man who's connected with the people, aren't you?
Right. I'm trying my best to do it, Again, I'm trying my best to do it. So, but basically, it's not about me. I want the children to go right and do it, I'm trying to help them to get up on their feet.
Okay.
And I have some problems with that too, based on, we have to take the history of say, farming. Some people have the physical strength and they refuse to take advice. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's a big problem. But the youth themselves now, I don't know. It's that strategy to bring them into this.
But you're a well-connected man. You used to be a farmer, I know. Like I said, you're a man, you have a lot of community connections. You're a man who I know you have, assets, land, and this kind of thing.
Right.
So
okay, well, again, as an ordinary person, I would have suffered the inequities that exist. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And probably more so than others, right? But that's not a deterrent for me. You understand what I'm saying? But I would still like to get the message across to the youth. That's what I'm trying to do. That's not me trying to do, I would like to see it done.
Okay,
I've had some people who probably have some adverse ways of thinking, basically. Maybe because they are lazy, they don't want to talk about the soil and so on. But I mean, that's a very nice thing to do, when you're into farming, doing it, because you have to be precise too, When you talk about diversification, these are things you learn. Now, when you have to implement these things, it becomes, a beautiful thing. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're not going to go into it and you're just probably just into or flooding the market every time there is a particular crop. Basically, when we're working, we need to have a very firm, we need to be part of on what it takes from the beginning, from the production to the processing. We probably need to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Or know that it exists, or somebody, you have confidence in somebody before you even go into farming now. Because a lot of money can be wasted and so on, and time too. Yeah, and the premium lasting is very bad, So we probably need to do that with the view of stopping. It's not impossible to stop premium lasting, I think we should, again, be able to apprehend anybody. It could be anything that you do in a given district. There is no problem in finding that person. So I see that strategy could help reduce crime because the fellas would be talking to each other about where they're going to sell their things, you know, or...
Okay. One more minute. Yeah, one more minute, and we have to, yeah.
So as groups, you know, we would probably be able to appreciate the blessing that the country have more than as individuals, you know. So basically, you know, as groups, we should be able to do better.
Okay.
So I'm urging, you know, all the solutions should look at the same thing too, you know. If it works one place, but again, we needed to start somewhere.
Okay, boss. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. We have another call on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues.
Shelton, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, and you?
I'm all right. I just want to call and say, now that they teaching Creole in school, I hope Shasti take this opportunity to go and learn how to speak Creole so he can understand St. Lucian.
What school would you recommend that he enroll in that he can go and learn the Creole?
Any of the schools where they teach in Creole.
Okay, all right.
Whether he wants to go to a preschool or secondary school, any one of them.
Is there any other school you can think of that he can go to?
Well, what other schools do they teach?
Okay, go ahead. It's all right. It's okay. I'm asking you a question that's silly and irrelevant. Maybe a guy like Miguel will get the idea and he'll tell me, you know. Now go ahead.
Okay, I'll recommend a secondary school.
Okay. Which one you recommend? Don't recommend the George Charles Secondary, please.
Yeah, that's good.
Huh? Do not recommend that one.
That's a good one.
And do not recommend the Boys Training Center for him.
Well, that will be good for him too.
Do not recommend Donata. Okay.
That Donata is even better.
You see, I say George Charles, that's good. I say Boys Training Center, that's even better. I say Donata, that's even better. I say who have kisa about to buy house play. Merci un pile. Thank you very much, my friend.
All right.
487-9849. 758-487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that line, or you can direct call us on the landline 4533-911. Continuing to read that press release about September 9th, and the Prime Minister thanking the doctors, nurses, and staff of St. Jude for working in very difficult conditions for all those years since the hospital was shifted to the National Stadium. It continues. In August 2023, the Prime Minister secured $201 million from the Saudi Fund for Development to finish the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project. On September 13, 2024, after just 13 months, the government of St. Lucia will sign 2 contracts with the Saudi Fund for Development to commence the final construction works on the SJHRP. The government is determined to ensure the safe transfer of patients and operations from the George Odlum National Stadium to the new premises of the St. Jude Hospital at its original site in Auger, Vieux-Fort. All right? Good. We're still open for your calls. In fact, I got to go on the Facebook Live. I had already opened the page to hail up the people who are there. Thank you so very much, folks. You always make such a great difference. Always remember this guy, Jude Pokes Harlow, who was, like as I said, like an energizer, keeping the place fired up all the time around the clock. Jude, I don't mean sir. All right, we have another call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello. Hi, caller.
Hello, Sheldon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
But I didn't have the date of the opening of the St. Jude Hospital.
They didn't give a date yet, but wait for Friday.
Yeah, because they said in 2024. I want to be alive for that opening of that hospital.
Okay. So, did you have plans on dying this year or dying, before? Did you have plans? Did you have plans on dying before the year is over?
Let me tell you, at the same time. No, but I'm just telling you, never know. Moi, je voulais l'hôpital ça là ouvert.
All right, well, pas mort. On va voir tout plan ni pour mort. Ou était vivant. Sous ten plan pour mort, on va voir.
C'est juste dans Chine nos qui a mort. Yo personne pas de ça, la 4 nos jabon pour moi ça.
Comment qui a mort nos?
Yo 4 personnes parlement yo, ba ça qui va association là.
Est-ce que non so de ki hamo?
Oui, no, you're retired. They usually 46 to 50 years service. Oui, oui.
All right, okay, docteur hamo too.
Oui, moi ka do, mais personne pas dit. Oui, le docteur ka ton yo ka do docteur.
So est-ce que c'est un os?
Oui, moi ça non, c'est ça qui fait mon cadeau. La ni nurse qui retire. Yo qui bail 46 years service. De yo kana. Ou connait li?
Kimizi ou bay?
Hello?
Kimizi ou bay? Kimizi lande ou bay?
Kimizi ko ki sa?
Hein?
Ko ki sa?
Kimizi lande service ou bay kon os?
Non, moi cadeau achat il fait nos la passe oui pour moi ça ou pas attendre.
All right. Okay, non moi juste vle sav Kimizi lande service ou bay kon os. Ma blem pas involver moi affaire. Pas involver moi affaire la mo ça, ça veut se bay la mo zot là.
Moi-même by Gaido qui la moi 1959 ou 1999. So who record
c'est 40 years.
Pas que ça.
Et 40 l'année.
Autant
59 to 99, c'est 40 l'année.
Non, moi do 1959 pour 1999.
Eh, frère 40 l'année.
July moi cadeau.
OK.
So moi-même vle ouais. Oui, mon cadeau, so moi tu es sans Saint-Jude, c'est ça qui fait mon cadeau ça.
OK.
Moi pas les décembre venir puis on dit la pas encore fini. Depuis on commence à trouver là depuis après ça on va comprendre.
Alright, mais on ne peut faire ba la bon, on pas même si on chay les a passé, mon est patienter, on ne peut faire ba la bon. Si me pour un petit 2 mois encore et fait bagay la bien.
Non, on ka drag bagay ka sali. Ou ça sort ni la mien là qui parle bagay la fait.
Ça oui. On seul
parce que total, ça que jamais fini tout bail total.
OK, ça oui. Ça oui.
You understand?
OK.
C'est pour les monde qui ni vision là.
Yo seul ba mo vlo longane et mo vlo twene. C'est la vie ou pas moi, OK pour moi.
Ma pas ni contrôle là.
Ouavoye, moi pas ça trouver une manière ouavoye moi do.
Écoutez-moi. Actually, même about là, yo just was here day 2 a day. Day 2 et que yo pas vivre encore.
Oh, OK, ko ça y qui Aki wet, no, well, na vini na mais ou ça moi semble moun si yo pas ka manger. Moi me vinn casser moun pour nous faire un coup de main ba ou.
Oui, moi même te ka faire coup de main toutes les mais ça fait encore.
Alright.
Mais moi ka yo commencer yo que un petit pot en bas une à terre, yo fait deux tours et que aller. Après din nous si ça pas finir de bail.
Alright, moi sorry.
Number 3. C'est pour les moun qui ni soit un pays pas les moun qui ni vision. Let me say it in English. Without vision, the people perish. So you have a prime minister who has vision. But the people themselves who are supporting the government must give him encouragement.
Okay.
Because he might be putting $1 million, $20 million in a place. It is how well this money is put into practice.
Okay.
How well it is spent.
Okay, d'accord.
You know, you have to check for wastage. You have to find out if the right things are... Because I remember we used to prepare budgets at Victoria Hospital. And when the time comes, you would get probably 4 glasses. What you require, what you put on that budget, never comes for you to implement the work you have to do. Okay. You know, a lot of times they ask you to prepare a budget for the year. When you put your budget classification according to patients' needs, they ignore you totally. This is why there's so many complaints about the place.
Okay.
The money is being put there, but it's how effective, how well it's been utilized.
Okay.
So people, they should have ways to find out how this money is spent. I'm just being honest. With experience, government puts in money there, the money goes to the ministry, this one ration this, and not proper accountability. I'll be very honest with you.
Okay.
Sometimes the money is being used for the wrong purpose, and it's time we have universal plan, because a lot of people cannot afford to pay $20 when they come to hospital.
Okay.
So even if I have to pay taxes, I don't buy. Anyway, Sheldon, I'm still waiting.
No. But let me tell you, before I come anywhere where you are, you mentioned death a couple of times too much. So make sure you parfumer the place. Est-ce que book ça ka créer la moi pour sorte là. Puis depuis il y a de place là, m'a voulu tellement dealing et puis
non, moi ça mon qui toujours ka faire boucan. C'est pour ça.
All right, okay. C'est pour ça on vivant toujours. Okay, all right.
Before you used to do your...
Est-ce que book ça calcule là moi tellement fou bien, tellement ni jeba moi vle faire vie.
Ou pas fou bien mais c'est real thing hein. Ou toujours ni prepare. Ou quand dormir ou passer au
So vous voulez dire monsieur d'être en studio avec moi?
Hello?
Vous voulez dire monsieur d'être dans studio avec moi?
Monsieur tout partout.
Ba bout programme là moi sorti ici. Ici arrive une pas boy.
Non. Ou ça j'ai bon Dieu m'a dit c'est toi boug là qui t'a question Jude là. Est-ce qu'on a get la main? Est-ce qu'on a get la main? Ou I read Bible là sur ça quand on là il t'a m'a laisse boug là de écouter ça Job.
OK. Merci un peu.
Job ben m'a dit bon Dieu question bon Dieu m'a dit est-ce que vous qui fait la terre?
Non.
Est-ce qu'on a plus gros bête là mon face sur la terre?
OK. C'est Job.
Oui,
c'est Job.
La body dit physique pas toi chez.
OK.
Ou pas fatiguer skelly.
Ça oui.
Pas dans des questions.
But nous pour nous aller, they how we vient aller nous.
Oui, moi cadeau body yon qui connaît jouer au aller.
Ça oui, ça.
Ça
oui. OK, bye. And that's the real issues for today, folks. We gotta roll, we gotta go. Lotto might come upon us any moment now. Thank you so very much for being part of the program today. And until again, Shelton Daniel on behalf of Jaquan, signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This broadcast.
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Tuesday, 10th September 2024 were Double Daily Grand 1, 3, 6, 18, Big 4, 8, 9, 7, 8. The Big 4 multi-expo drawn is 2x. Pick 2, 4, 7. The Pick 2 multi-expo drawn is 2x. 1 off, 5, 9, 4. Lucky 3, 3, 6, 6. The Lucky 3 multi-expo drawn is 2x.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.